Hey YouTube, Dave here, and what I want to talk about today is the principles of mindfulness. And so I guess why would you want to know how to be mindful or what the principles of mindfulness are? It's really just a way to get yourself centered and calm in every situation when emotions are flying very high one way or the other, either to the good or the bad. Either you're wound up super high into anxious states or elated states, or you're going down the other way, down into painful states or anger, shame, or something like that, and you don't want to let those emotional states control or govern your behaviors anymore. And so mindfulness is a very good way to do this. There's an acronym that I like to use, and the acronym is Use Your Brain. So BRAIN, and each of those letters uh, stands for a tool that you can use. And so the first principle of mindfulness is B, which means breathe. So whatever situation you are in, whether you're being triggered by job problems or relationship problems or dietary issues or issues out of the past that keep coming up over and over again, the first thing you want to do is breathe because that helps bring you down to the center. It helps clear your mind. It helps still your mind a little bit. And so you just want to relax as much as you can. Take calm and slow your breathing down to a nice even rhythm and tempo. 4-second inhale, 4-second pause, 4-second exhale, and 4-second pause. Now you may not be in a place that you'll be able to do that, so just some nice, good, slow, deep breaths with stronger exhales, because the stronger exhale helps release tension. Is the first thing that you need to do in that situation. And once you're able to step back and breathe, uh, the next step would be R. So in brain, the next letter is R. And what you want to do here is R just stands for recognition. You want to be able to pull yourself back and actually realize and recognize what kind of state of being that you're in. So when emotional states fly very high or very low, sometimes you are caught or stuck in the middle, and that's all you can see around you and all you can be. And that emotional state governs your entire being, so that's who you believe you are in the moment. And it's very hard to even recognize or even admit to yourself that you are in such a state of being. Now, other people can clearly recognize it, and usually a lot easier than you can, and they might say, you look really mad, you look upset, you might look this, you might look that, whatever they see in you, and your first response is go, oh no, well, I don't feel like that, I'm not being like that, that kind of thing. So that's where people don't recognize the emotional state that they are in. And so you really got to step back and actually identify how you're feeling. And so the questions you actually there ask yourself in this stage in recognition is just, how am I feeling? Am I feeling angry? Am I feeling sad? Am I feeling upset? Whatever it is, you have to be able to label it as what it is to be able to deal with it. The next step would be acceptance. And this is where I think a lot of people go wrong. Well, maybe not wrong, they're just not aware of this step or what to do or how to go about it. And when something really hurts, or you're really angry, or you don't feel good at all, the first thing that you want to do is not feel that way. It is a natural response that when you are in pain, you do not want to be in pain. When you are suffering from depression, you do not want to be in depression. So the sort of automatic response is to grab something or do something that makes you feel good so you do not have to feel what you are feeling. And I think this is how one of the ways which addictions can really start and get a grip on people through repeated patterns of not accepting their emotional state of being. And when they feel bad, you go for, whatever your natural crutch is. So for some people it can be food, for some people it can be, booze or cigarettes. Some people will immerse themselves in their job, on the internet, or any sorts of things that you can use to hide yourself and feel something as a surface response and ignore the deeper feelings that are happening in the moment. So once you recognize where you are, you really got to accept it. Okay, so I'm feeling, pretty depressed right now. Just fully accept that, fully embrace it. Don't try and use an external crutch to change it, because it actually compounds the problem and makes it worse in the long run. This is something that you've got to face and embrace in the moment, and uh, really accept it fully and 100%. And to do that, you really have to be able to express what the feeling is. So if you are sad and you're accepting that you're sad, then there is no resistance to crying because you are sad. You just naturally do that, and that's a response that I think more people are a little more comfortable with, but not everybody's as comfortable expressing their emotions in these ways. So that can be one of the blocks to accepting how you're feeling, is just not comfortable expressing them. So you've got to put yourself in a place, and for a lot of people that will be just by themselves, so they can actually express what they're feeling. And if you're feeling depressed and mopey and, you're feeling kind of low, then accept that and be with that, and then you can move on to the next stage once you've accepted it and you're aware of it. So the next stage, so brain, B-R-A-I, in the I in brain is investigation. Excuse me. So once you are accepting of how you are feeling, then you really have to investigate and look into more specific details, more specific details into what you are feeling. And this specifically means going into your body. Every emotional state that a person is in is manifested in their body, and the obvious ones are, if you get angry, your face gets red, so there's a physical response to an emotion that you're feeling. If you get sad, you get tears, your throat gets choked up. You get happy, you laugh, right? These are all common things that we're all familiar with, and they manifest in your body somehow, some way. So every emotion that you feel is expressed, and if it's not expressed, then it's stored in the body and it stays in the body until it's released. And so emotions that are not expressed over a long period of time, or are repressed or buried, they stay in the body and they stay stored in there, and it's negative energy, and can cause some damage and some health problems down the road. So you really want to investigate in the body where you are feeling this. So hopefully at this point, through your breathing, your recognition and acceptance and expression of what you are feeling, you've come down or back to the center just a little bit from where you were feeling when you first got triggered, and you have maybe a slightly more still mind than you had before, so you can pay attention. So you scan your body. Where am I feeling this? Are my hands trembling? Am I feeling, pressure in my head? Do I feel heat anywhere? Because a lot of negative emotions either add a lot of heat or take away a lot of heat. So are you feeling cold in any areas, which means heat is being taken away, so the absence of energy there. So scan your body, feel your skin. How is your skin feeling? Is it tingling? Because your skin is very, very sensitive to emotional states. Is it prickling? Are you feeling, pay attention to your gut and your digestive system, because you got a lot of nervous system tissue down there, which is really sensitive to emotional states. So do you get those butterflies? Do you get the twisting in the gut? Do you just have this aversive feeling, aversive sensation, or where your body is just locked up and tense and won't let go and is really rigid? So all of these sorts of things that your body, that is manifested through your body, can relate and point you back to more specific feelings. And these bodily sensations that you are experiencing will help you to more strongly integrate and feel these sensations and be able to be present with them in a loving and compassionate way, and let the energy be released from you without letting the energy controlling you. And so, because emotions are the energy of action, when they get really high, sometimes they force you into doing something you really know you shouldn't be doing or have no business doing, but you can't help yourself anyways. So just by laying there and being present with them, or standing or sitting or whatever, wherever you're at, and fully feeling them and investigating what those sensations feel like in your body, you start to build a little bit of detachment from the sensation, and now you are no longer at the center of this whole ball of emotions. You are now kind of looking at it and its component parts, and that helps you separate yourself from it a little bit. And again, it's not just a one-time thing. This is a repeated process that you do over and over and over again until the emotions, until you learn to master them a little better. And so BRAI, so investigation, we're still at. So you investigate how these sensations feel in your body, and now once they are in your body and you are more familiar with the subtle aspects of each emotion, you can investigate, you can ask these feelings to intensify if you want, and let your body feel it even more and express it even more, and that will help the release and the purge even faster. And what you also investigate at this stage is your head and your thoughts. And so it's very important to pay attention to your thoughts here when you are investigating these body sensations of your emotions, and ask yourself, okay, I feel this twisting and turning in my gut. I know it's anxiety that I'm feeling, so what is going on in my head that is causing that? Because emotions, and from a linear perspective, emotions are secondary to thoughts. The thought happens first, and the emotion happens after. You have a thought, if you judge it to be good, then you feel a positive emotion. If you have a thought and you judge that to be bad in some way, then you'll experience a negative emotion. So then you have to start going into your head and analyzing and observing your thoughts, and the stories that your mind tells you over and over again, and the judgments that your mind repeats ad nauseum sometimes, and look at your thoughts and what's going on and where they relate to the emotions that you're feeling in your body, and how when you think these things you feel these sensations in your body. And you try and do this to build basically a pattern, an awareness of the pattern that's happening. So, and why you want to do this is because once you get into your thoughts, you can disarm the belief systems that are causing you to feel these things in the first place. But you have to know what you're thinking and what you're believing in to be able to disarm it. And once you are looking into your head at your thoughts and your body, and you become more aware of your triggers, you become more aware of the sensations that you feel in your body throughout the day when you're not actually ordinarily paying attention to it. So that then brings focus and attention to subconscious thoughts that might be happening. So you might have a lot of job stress, and you're sitting at your computer, and before doing the mindfulness, you're previously unaware of any worries or stress about your job that you're feeling. But through the practice of mindfulness and using these things, you start to feel tension in your shoulders and your neck, and you're getting stressed, and that's how you're feeling it. And then you can go back to the thoughts in your head that are causing the tension and the stress. And the body awareness helps build the awareness of the feelings and the sensations through the body, help build more awareness of your thought patterns and how many times they repeat throughout the day. You might start, say I do, I feel anxiety in my gut and I get those butterflies. And so when you start to become more aware, and I pay attention to those butterflies, and I can, count, 7, 8, 9, 10 times a day I'm feeling these butterflies, then I know automatically that as a result of a feeling and a thought, that my mind is drifting and going to, anxious thoughts or worrying thoughts, so they can immediately deal with them in the moment, and feel that and express that and let it go and then move on, without actually having to hold on to all that nervous tension and store it in my body, and until it eventually erupts or explodes on its own. So BRAI, and the last one is non-attachment. So breathing, uh, acceptance, investigation, recognition, acceptance, investigation, and non-attachment is the last one. So N in the acronym, using your brain. So non-attachment does not mean not feeling. Non-attachment is not the same as repression. It's very easy to feel something and then grab an external crutch and repress what you are feeling. That is not the same as non-attachment. Non-attachment is the point at which the emotion is no longer controlling you. And you can think about non-attachment in that way. You still accept it, it's still a part of you, it's an aspect of you, and a very, one of many infinite number of aspects of you when you see it, but now you are seeing the emotion from a distance, looking on the outside, looking in, and you can see all its component parts and how it behaves and the patterns and where you feel it, and you're fully integrated in knowing and feeling these emotions and these experiences, positive or negative, but you are detached enough that you have your willpower intact, and you can use your will and your logic and your discernment to then choose a course and either funnel this energy into a course of action that ends up being positive, or express it in a way that just dissipates to you until you come back to the center, in a place of peace and contentment. So non-attachment, some ways that you can non-attach, you just ask yourself,